What's up guys, it's Meg and it's that time of the week again where we get to look dead ahead and predict what's coming on season 6 of The Walking Dead. Today we're analyzing, overanalyzing, reading into all the little details of the season 6 Comic-Con trailer that aired just the other day. So what we're going to be doing in this video is I've taken screenshots of all the important parts that I think I've seen in the trailer, and I'm going to be inserting them into this discussion video and showing you what I think is going to happen, what I think is not going to happen, and all the little details in between. So let's get started. Here are a few details that I think I'm pretty much 90% sure of that occurred in this trailer and that will occur in season 6. First off, there is no Rick and Morgan conflict. There isn't. I promise you. I know the video was completely edited to look like Rick and Morgan are at each other's throats, to look like Morgan is going to try and take Rick out. It's not gonna happen, I promise. Okay, this is why. All of these trailers for The Walking Dead, every time we have a season trailer, they edit it to make you think something is gonna happen that would be really crazy and really awesome. But in reality, it's not what's going to happen at all. So for example, when we had the season 5, one of the season 5 trailers where the hunters, Gareth, was coming after Rick and crew and they were in the church and all of those different aspects, that trailer made it seem like they were going to help Gareth do something, or that Gareth was going to help them, and somehow the bad guy was going to suddenly be with Rick's group. And that's not what happened at all. So, you know, at the end of season 5, when Morgan arrived at Alexandria and he had no idea what was going on, and all he sees is Rick standing over Pete's body shooting Pete, and Rick's covered in blood, and Morgan is this peacekeeping person now. He doesn't take lives. He believes all lives are precious. And he sees Rick, who he was really excited to see, who he made this journey to find Rick. And he sees him like this. We were all extremely worried about what kind of conflict would happen between the two, you know, because they're both in totally, completely different places than they were when they used to know each other. And that's been the talk since the season ended, since season 5 ended. We've been wondering what's going to happen. Then when the season 6 poster was revealed, it showed Rick and Morgan kind of at odds with each other. The entire group, the Alexandrians on one side, Morgan on one side, Deanna, Gabriel on one side, and the rest of Rick's crew on the other. And it looked like, oh no, something's going to happen between them. And in reality, now that I've seen the trailer, now that I've seen the trailer for season 6, I do not believe there's going to be a conflict at all. This is AMC working us. It's like they're trolling us. It's like when Robert Kirkman tells us things that aren't really true, you know? They're trolling us because they want to hype up season 6 so much. And that's great. I mean, this trailer was awesome. But I can tell you right now, the Rick and Morgan thing, they're gonna talk it out, and that's gonna be the end of it. Any other conversation in the trailer that makes it seem like Rick is against Morgan or Morgan's against Rick, it's just the editing. Sometimes they can edit a complete sentence to make it look like a full sentence all happening in one scene, when in reality, it's two completely different conversations that have been edited together so seamlessly, you have no idea that they're working you. They're working us. I can also tell you that Maggie does not die. It's not Maggie, it's not Rosita, it's not Tara in that scene where there is the brown-haired girl on the ground getting eaten by a ton of walkers. In that actual scene, it is a girl with long brown hair that's braided. So I have a screenshot of that. I will put it in just a moment when we start playing all the screenshots. But I wanted to tell you, I can tell you 100%, it is not Maggie in that scene, it's not Tara, and it's not Rosita. I don't know who it is, but it's likely just an Alexandria that went along on the trip to the tractor store, which we'll also talk about in a minute. So moving right along into the tractor store scene, we have Glenn, Sasha, Nicholas, Heath, and other Alexandrians, perhaps even other main characters, but these are the 4 that I actually am certain of. They all go on a trip supply run they end up at a tractor store. Now on the glass window, these are the scenes where the walkers come out of the glass window. In these scenes, they're at a tractor store. There's a sign, there's tractors in the background. I'm guessing that they're probably on a run to get equipment, maybe even a tractor, for the construction of the wall to extend Alexandria's wall. But obviously some bad things happen. They run into a lot more walkers than they anticipated, and pretty much all hell breaks loose. They lose some of the Alexandrians, Hopefully all of our main guys are safe. I can also tell you that I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a flashback to Enid's past and how she arrived at Alexandria. All of those scenes with Enid, I'm pretty sure those are actually a flashback. I can't tell you for certain, but I'm really thinking that it's showing just how, you know, up until the point where she walks into Alexandria and the gate opens, she's just got a backpack on, she's bloody, covered. I don't think this happened on one of her outings when she's leaping the wall for Alexandria. I actually think they're showing her past. And I think there's probably gonna be a conversation with Carl and her at some point where she's discussing how she ended up at Alexandria. I do believe also that the wolves get into Alexandria, that it's not straight from the comics. The wolves will get into Alexandria because there are quite a few scenes, which I'll show you in a minute as well, of the actual Alexandrians and Morgan and different characters in our main group where they are killing people, not walkers. I can also tell you, based on this season 6 trailer, that I'm pretty sure the mid-season finale, which would be episode 8, is going to end right at the No Way Out arc. Now, warning, there are going to be comic spoilers as we move through the rest of this video, so if you're worried about me spoiling the comics for you, you probably shouldn't watch this video. Also, this video may actually spoil the show. I have a feeling these first 8 episodes of The Walking Dead Season 6 are going to very closely follow some of the comic book lines, meaning some of the things I'm telling you, even though they're predictions, may likely come true. So, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you guys are completely against spoilers, so you've been warned. Now, I believe that, you know, the wolves conflict, they're gonna probably bring, you know, their semis full of walkers. Not as many walkers as we see in the herd, mind you. That is going to be a separate incident. But I do believe that the wolves are going to bring quite a few walkers there, and somehow they're going to actually get into Alexandria. Not like in the comics where they're killed outside of Alexandria and nothing really happens. You know, I actually think they're gonna get into Alexandria. Also, this run that Glenn and Heath and Nicholas are on, I believe that they're going to run into the herd at some point, or somehow they're going to attract the herd when they're trying to kill off the walkers at the tractor store. And that's gonna lead the herd, or have the herd turn into the direction of Alexandria and lead them that way. Then maybe the herd will hear the conflict with the wolves and will be further drawn to Alexandria. Now, I think that most of these episodes are going to be leading up to the herd is outside Alexandria, the herd breaks down the walls, they try and lead the herd away, it doesn't work, and some of these scenes where we see Jesse hiding in the closet, Michonne hiding behind the boards, these scenes are straight from the comics. So I am 90% sure that the mid-season finale is likely going to be the wall comes down, chaos ensues, hopefully, spoiler, Carl's eye gets shot due to Deanna losing it. We're progressively seeing in these scenes, Deanna she looks like Reg's death has taken its toll on her, and she's trying to be strong, but I don't think, quite frankly, it's gonna work. And I think that the mid-season finale is going to end with Carl losing his eye, with Jesse dying, with, you know, a lot of these major scenes from the comics translated into the show. I really do believe this. And then the second half of season 6 will be moving on, recovering from that, and so on, which I'm not gonna get into that because that's very far away at this point. So, before this video gets too long, I want to show you the screenshots that kind of reinforce my theories here. So to get started, at 1 minute 12 seconds, this is proof that this is not Maggie, Tara, or Rosita getting eaten by the walkers. I'm gonna insert the screenshot now. So I believe this scene is actually at the tractor store. The walkers have come through the windows. They're overwhelming our crew. Sasha, Glenn, Heath, Nicholas, we see all of them shooting at these walkers and trying to take them out, and I think that it's actually going to prove to be too many for them to handle, and things are going to go bad. The next few screenshots here, which I'll insert now, these are proof that they are at the tractor store. In most of these scenes, you'll see in the background tractors. You'll see on the glass window it says Beta Tractors, B-A-D-A Tractors. So this further proves that I believe that they are going for equipment to help extend the Alexandria Wall. So next I want to talk about the Enid flashback, or what I think may be a flashback. Starting at 38 seconds in, screenshot here, Enid looks like she's coming back into Alexandria. She's very dirty, her clothes are very torn up. I mean, she's incredibly dirty. And we know she's been through something really bad. Now, you know, I'm not 100% sure on this, but she's so dirty and she's so torn up. I believe that this is actually when she's arriving at Alexandria. At the beginning of this trailer, they show a clip of the Alexandrian sign kind of half down. I actually think she's walking up to Alexandria, and when they're opening the gates, they're allowing her to come in, and that's actually the first time she stepped foot into Alexandria. I don't think she would have been this dirty if she had just taken a day trip outside the walls. She's gotten very good at avoiding walkers at this point. I don't think she would be that dirty. We see another scene, which is the next screenshot here at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Now this scene could be either in real time or a flashback, but she's hiding and looking very scared behind a sign. Flash forward to 3 minutes, 4 seconds. We see Enid in a car. It is very bloody. Over the window, the car is very bloody. She looks absolutely terrified. Again, they've hinted at her backstory before, but I think they're actually going to show us, because I think it has some kind of importance to either getting to know Eden and the role she's going to play in the show, or maybe it helps with some other portion of the Alexandrian story that we don't know. But I do think this is going to be a flashback. Moving along, there are some just additional scenes that I'd like to point out that are kind of interesting. There's no real like theme to them, just wanting to show you what I think is interesting. So I gotta get to the right spot. At 1 minute, 5 seconds, this shot here, it shows a guy running from walkers. The walkers are right behind him, and he's running straight for like a cliff drop off. It looks, at first I couldn't tell who it was, but it's Rick, and he runs from the side and tackles him out of the way so that he doesn't fall off the cliff. And then there is another scene, let's see, where is it? At 3 minutes and 23 seconds, we see the scene where Rick saves the guy from going over the cliff, and they're laying there. I'm pretty sure this is the clip, 3 minutes 23, where they're laying on the ground like panting like, ah, and the walkers are falling over the cliff. I thought that was pretty interesting. Another thing to note is at 1 minute 56 seconds here, Rosita and Spencer, who we've also seen another shot with. So at this one, they're just walking. They look like they're patrolling. Rosita's hands are super bloody. But then there's another scene where they are looking down over the wall, and it's at 3 minutes and 11 seconds, where both Spencer and Rosita, again, are looking down over onto the herd. They're on top of the wall, and they're looking down at the herd, and it looks like the herd is directly outside of Alexandria. And it's such an amazing shot. Looking down and just seeing so many walkers. It's pretty incredible. And I think this kind of thing they're showing here, I mean, it's amazing and yet terrifying, because we know what's gonna happen. We know that these walkers are gonna somehow get into Alexandria, and it's scary. I also kind of like seeing Spencer and Rosita together. I know Rosita's with Abraham at this point, but oh, I don't think I would mind that. I like them. Okay, so we have to talk about the Daryl scenes. We have to. I'm not gonna go all Daryl fangirl on you. You guys know me. I love Daryl, but I'm going to stick to the facts here. First off, I don't think Daryl's gonna die, so let's just get this out here. I don't think he's gonna die. But these end scenes for the trailer were actually pretty awesome. But leading up to that, there is a spot, and I'm not sure that I have a screenshot on here. I think I do, so if I do, insert it now. But we see Rick, we hear Rick's voice, and it's saying, we don't see him saying these words, but it says, these people, they gotta take care of themselves. And then it actually flashes to Rick's face, and you see him saying, you feel different about it? And then it flashes to Daryl, and we see him say, we see Daryl reply, yeah, I do. So, like I said before, editing could make this a completely different sentence. The only part we actually see Rick say to Daryl is, "You feel different about it." And Daryl says, "Yeah, I do." Daryl's motorcycle is right there, so we don't know what's happening. I think at one point, Daryl is probably going to get stuck somehow. He's going to be helping the group. We see a lot of scenes with walkie-talkies and Rick's running really far. I think there's going to be some kind of plan to try and lead the herd away, and I don't think it's going to work. And in the process of this, Daryl may take off trying to lead the herd away with his motorcycle, and he runs into these end scenes where we see where's the page? Where we see him potentially run into who a lot of people are saying may be Dwight from the comics. I'm not going to get into who Dwight is. If you haven't read the comics, you should go read them and catch up because they're really awesome. But I'm not sure if I think this is Dwight or not. A lot of people are saying this, and I definitely think it makes sense. Robert Kirkman said we would see some backstory for a portion of the comics that we never really got the backstory to. And this could very well be it, how Dwight ended up with Negan, how his girlfriend / wife, I can't remember, ended up as one of Negan's wives. You know, we never really heard how that came to be, only that Dwight was very unhappy about it, obviously. So this may indeed be where Dwight gets his crossbow. I'm hoping that Daryl makes it out alive. I really don't think they're gonna kill him off at this point, but of course, it being the season 6 trailer, and there's a ton of Daryl fans out there, they've gotta hype it up, make us get worried. You know how it goes. So at 3 minutes and 37 seconds, we see that Daryl finds himself captured by this guy. And Daryl's the tough guy. The guy tells him not to speak, and he speaks anyways, and he's got a gun to his head. But then we see Dwight, or not Dwight, I'm calling him Dwight because that's who we assume he is. But he's got 2 women with him, and they have a tan duffel bag. They're running around. There's a house that's burnt. It looks like one of the women is running up to the house like they're shocked maybe, or maybe they're expecting to find something. I'm not sure. But the very end scene at 3 minutes and 55 seconds is the last scene that we see of the trailer. Daryl is no longer tied up. He's kind of kneeling, standing up, and the duffel bag is near him. Where's Dwight? Where's his crossbow? Where are the women? I'm thinking that he escapes, but maybe his crossbow is gone. Maybe this is how, or maybe this has nothing to do with Dwight. Like I said, we have no idea. But y'all know I love Daryl, and it always makes me a little bit worried, but I'm pretty confident at this point that he's not gonna die. I meant to also tell you that at 2 minutes and 53 seconds, this shot here of Carol is pretty awesome because she's no longer wearing her floral getup. She's back to her badass Carol self. So I think she screws the outfit, you know, get rid of the outfit, and goes back to her normal clothing because of the potential threat on Alexandria. And she no longer, now that Rick's in charge, she no longer has to pretend who she is and try and fit in to get information. They're done with that. There was one last couple scenes I wanted to show you. At 3 minutes and 14 seconds, this is the grossest walker I have ever seen. He looks like he has a film over his eye cavities. Super creepy. And then the very last scene that I wanted to point out, at 3 minutes and 16 seconds, there's this shot of Tara and Aaron and some other people that we don't know at this point, and they're holding a person and kneeling them down. It looks like the person's injured, and they're putting them down on a cot. And a lot of people have said this may be Carl losing his eye, or this may be Rick getting injured, both of these two things which happened in the comics during the No Way Out arc. I can say to you, if you look at this screenshot that I have here, this is not a man. It's not a man. There is a complete blonde head there. It's not Rick. It's not Carl. I don't think it's Eric. I don't know who it is. The only blonde hair that I've seen like that looks like one of the girls that Daryl was with, but I don't really see that happening. The arm that's draped around Aaron's neck is very skinny. It's a very skinny, like, feminine arm. It's not Rick. It looks like it has a white t-shirt. It looks like there may be something, I can't really tell, but it looks like maybe there's a knife sticking out of the side, or I could be completely wrong and that's part of the bed that they're laying the person on. But I'm pretty sure it's a female. I mean, that's blonde hair. I mean, it's not Rick's hair. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. That is it for my breakdown video. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, let me know in the comments below and we can discuss it further. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. My next video is going to be a breakdown of the Fear the Walking Dead trailer. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.